Here they come then.
And here they come, and a round of applause for the royal party who've taken their seats. The Duchess of Sussex next to the Duchess of Cambridge. And this walk must feel, Jonathan, especially for Simona Halep, like an absolute eternity.
Yeah, you walk past the members' dining rooms and the committee rooms and up through to the top of the staircase which leads down to the foyer. And this, I think, is where it must get really nerve-wracking, because you see the trophies, you see the honours boards. Everything has that special, very shiny touch, whether it's the wood or whether it's the glistening gold or silver. And you meet the officials who are about to lead the two players onto the court, and we get the first glimpse of Simona Halep, who's been handed a huge bouquet of flowers, and she is the first to appear through the wood panel doors to our right, and she is going to lead the way with Serena Williams not far behind. And here come the finalists for the 2019 Wimbledon final on centre court, Simona Halep and Serena Williams.
It's an 11th meeting between the two. On one occasion, Simona Halep is able to beat Serena Williams. That was in 2014. They have met a long, long time ago on the grass at Wimbledon, but now they place their bouquet of flowers. Halep is still working out where to put her. She's putting it on the chair. Simona Halep is behind the chair. And it used to be that they would have their racket bags carried, but because they have so much stuff in the modern day to bring out, there were two ball girls carrying out the bags that accompany the racket bags, and they both had those vivid red racket bags, wearing them like rucksacks over their shoulder, everything contained within them. And now they'll just have a few seconds, Jonathan, for the players to settle themselves, get themselves set up how they want things to be set up.
Yeah, they've both made their orders as well to the nearest ball kid. Both ordered a bottle of water, which has come out of the fridge and it's settled down. And these are nervous times. 1 minute past 2. Simona Halep, French Open champion from last year. That her one Grand Slam title. And she rises first for Romania. And we've already heard on the programme what a huge deal this would be in Bucharest and around the whole of the nation were she to win Wimbledon today. And now, very calmly, Serena Williams, the great champion of this court, the all-time great with 23 Grand Slam titles to her name in singles alone, emerges to join Mariana Veljevic, the umpire at the net.
This
and
is
they're going
heads
to pose for some
today.
photographs. And now the coin toss.
Morning's going to help us with the
Johnson
coin
be
toss.
feeling? She's 13 years of age. She's representing Regenerate, a Wandsworth-based charity that supports disadvantaged young people and their families. And she has just tossed the coin at the ladies' singles final on centre court. She is standing the side of Serena Williams. And now, the coin toss having been taken, she will stand in between them, the smile on her face. What a moment for Marnie Johnson, 13 years of age, the centre of centre court, squished in between Simona Halep and Serena Williams.
And a moment as well for the tournament referee Andrew Jarrett, who's out there as well, officiating in his final Wimbledon before Jerry Armstrong takes over next year. I'm sure it's going to be an emotional weekend for him and for the umpire and for the line judges and all the officials all around. It's the best of the best on duty. And as we look around centre court, spectators filling every seat. What a ticket it is for the Wimbledon Ladies Singles Championship of 2019. Enjoy it, Gigi. You're going to be alongside Russell for commentary.
I certainly will be.
Hope it's a classic.
I'm really very much looking forward to watching these two battle it out on the grass courts of Wimbledon. The warm-up is underway, commentary to come shortly, but first here on 5 Live with the time at 3 minutes past 2. Let's break for the news with Helen Place.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
At least 26 people, including a British citizen, have been killed in an attack on a hotel in southern Somalia. A prominent Canadian journalist is said to be among several foreigners among the victims. A suicide bomber rammed a car of explosives into the building before gunmen stormed it. A woman's been sexually assaulted at the Transmit Festival in Glasgow. She was grabbed by one man, then sexually assaulted by another near the main stage at Glasgow Green last night. Boris Johnson and Jeremy Hunt have criticised police for warning media organisations against publishing leaked government documents. The Met issued the threat after announcing a criminal inquiry into the leak of emails from the British ambassador to the US, Sir Kim Darroch. The Arndale shopping centre in Manchester has been evacuated. It's not yet known why. And the United Union says it will hold more talks with Heathrow Airport to end a dispute over pay. 6 days of industrial action are planned over the next 6 weeks.
The Austrian Grand Prix.
It's been a wonderful drive for the Red Bull man. Verstappen wins in Austria for the second year in a row.
Next, the British Grand Prix.
What will happen this weekend? Will it be home advantage, full build-up, live race commentary, analysis and reaction?
F1 on 5 Live.
Wimbledon 2019
with Jonathan Overend and Gigi Salmon
on 5 Live.
Yeah, Sports Extra right now for qualifying ahead of tomorrow's British Grand Prix. Live boxing tonight with Mike Costello at ringside. British heavyweight title fight around about 10:30, and that's before we even get to tomorrow and a quite sensational sporting Sunday from the 5 Live team with all 3 main events covered live, plus everything else. We'll have it all for you. What an offering. But right now we welcome you inside the famous centre court at Wimbledon. Women's final day. Simona Halep, Serena Williams and your commentary team, Annabel Croft, Kim Clijsters, Gigi Salmon, and first your correspondent, Russell Fuller.
Jonathan, thank you. Everyone's heart beats a little faster on ladies' singles final day at Wimbledon, as it will for the men tomorrow. That very special walk described by Jonathan and Gigi has brought the 2 players out onto this famous centre court. It never feels as if 15,000 people are inside the arena, but 15,000 people are on their seats if they're not stretching their legs before this showpiece match gets underway. For Williams, it's an 11th Wimbledon final, a 32nd Grand Slam final in total. Simona Halep now knows what it's like to walk out here for the final, as she has done at Roland Garros in Paris on 3 occasions, and also in Melbourne before the Australian Open final of 2018. She is trying to become the first ever Romanian Wimbledon singles champion. For Serena Williams, it's the chance to win Wimbledon for an 8th time and a Grand Slam singles title for a staggering and record-equalling 24th.
Serena Williams is through to her 11th Wimbledon final. She is looking for her 8th Wimbledon title and her 24th Grand Slam singles title, and she's got a shot.
I'm desperate to win Wimbledon, more than desperate to stop her.
And finally, Halep's emotions are released here on centre court. All the tension comes gushing out, and she's full of smiles because Simona Halep is into the Wimbledon final.
I will focus on myself. I'm not thinking about her record.
Serena Williams has won the Battle of the Sisters.
7-6,
here
6-3.
on the Wimbledon centre court.
Serena Williams is underneath it and smashes to win the title. The racket flies into the air.
That is her 7th Wimbledon title, her 22nd Grand Slam singles title. She draws level with Steffi Graf. She has finally made it across the line.
She has reclaimed Wimbledon.
Serena Williams cannot believe it that she's got Grand Slam title number 23.
And she is on the brink of another extraordinary occasion.
I've done this a million times, and I know how to play tennis. And the crazy thing is, I think I can play even better.
Her first Grand Slam title came in New York at the US Open of 1999, virtually 20 years ago. And here Serena Williams is again on centre court in July 2019. She is, for the record, the 11th seed. Simona Halep is the 7th seed. And as the warm-up is called to a conclusion by our chair umpire from Serbia, 32-year-old Marijana Veljovic, who's officiating in her first ladies singles final here at Wimbledon. We're just about ready for the off here on 5 Live this afternoon in the company of Kim Clijsters, 4 times a Grand Slam champion, and Annabel Croft, who won the junior title here and also in Australia, and is a major, major part of our team. We're waiting for Serena Williams. Simona Halep is on the baseline. Williams is making her less experienced opponent wait. And Annabel, what did you think of the body language as they made that walk through the members' areas out onto centre court?
I thought it was very significant, actually. I was surprised at how relaxed Simona Halep looked. She had a smile on her face. She was kind of, just looking around and looking very relaxed. And I thought Serena did look extremely nervous. And she's just asked the ball boy for a box of tissues, which she's just made Simona wait while she blew her nose.
Ready?
Every little detail covered here on 5 Live Sport. Serena Williams won the toss and is elected to serve first. She's serving from the royal box end. And the ladies' final is underway, and there's a forehand into the net from Simona Halep.
Well, Simona just scrunched her skirt with her playing hand there, so you can imagine that quite a lot of nerves flying through her body for that first point.
Williams at 15-love onto the forehand of Halep. A short return from the Romanian, who's now running to hit a forehand cross-court passing winner. And if she was disappointed with the contact on the first reply, Kim, that will really settle her down.
15-all.
Yeah, Simona is so good when she gets pulled out wide, and it's almost like she becomes a little bit more aggressive when she gets pulled outside of the court than sometimes when she gets a shorter ball. So that was a perfect example of that when she got pulled out to the forehand.
Big serve down the middle from Williams. That serve is going to be critical. The return from Halep just over the baseline.
30-15.
It's so interesting watching Serena, isn't it? Because the body language in between points could not be any slower or more deliberate. And then she steps up for this beautiful service motion and just unleashes the power.
Absolutely unleashes the full force of Serena Williams. There's a forehand from the 7-time champion. A backhand from Williams is just over the baseline. She has hit twice as many unreturned serves as Halep in these championships so far. 45 aces to 9 at the start of the match. Her serve is faster. But what's significant, I think, is the very few number of unforced errors that Halep has committed over the course of the last 2 weeks, and she's won a higher percentage of return games. So she has all the attributes, but can she return this Williams serve with regularity and put pressure on the great champion throughout this match?
I think there's no question that Serena's heart is palpitating at the moment. I mean, she's really breathing up high in her chest and very, very nervous.
It's 30-all in the opening game of the final on 5 Live. A forehand from Williams, the backhand from Halep, backhand from Williams. Halep takes a couple of paces to her left, returns on the backhand, and that was a very nervous and awful backhand by her standards by Serena Williams as she goes break point down in the opening game.
And you can see her breathing very high up in her chest once again, but that backhand literally landed about an inch up the net. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen her hit a backhand like that, actually.
That's very, yeah, and I guess we can call it a nervous backhand.
An early break point for Halep, her forehand return onto the forehand of Williams, and Williams has missed. Now, if you're a Serena Williams fan, don't panic, because we've seen this many times before. She's often a slow starter, but Kim, clearly obvious signs of nerves there.
For sure, and although she's won so many Grand Slams and has done so many great things, she's still for her in an amazing stage of her career, and she knows she doesn't have that many years left. So I think every chance that she gets now to win another Grand Slam is the one she wants to take, and we can see that she's nervous again, but soon she will settle, I think, and she will be able to build her level up.
The pressure on Williams is immense as she puts a forehand into the net. She lost 6-3, 6-3 to Angelique Kerber in the final last year, broken 4 times. Relatively newly back on tour after becoming a mum. She said afterwards, this is literally just the beginning, as she hits a backhand return to the backhand of Halep. The backhand from Williams down the line, that's much more like it, but good defence from Halep. Forehand cross-court into the net from Williams, and again, the example of Halep making Williams hit one more ball. And then to the US Open and that final against Naomi Osaka, where first of all she was given a code violation from umpire Carlos Ramos for coaching. Then she smashed her racket when broken back for 3-2 in the second set and was docked a point. She now hits a backhand return to the Simona Halep backhand. Halep hits the forehand to the backhand of Williams. That's into the net. And Halep has 3 game points for a 2-love lead. And then finally, after that exchange with Ramos, in which she wagged her finger very angrily at him, called him a liar, a thief, and said that this would not be happening if I were a man. She was docked a game and Osaka won the title. The backhand is hit deep by Halep, the forehand from Halep onto the forehand of Williams. Cross court goes Williams. Now the backhand with slice from Williams. Halep will hit the backhand down the line. And it has been called in from the chair, and it means that Halep is off to an absolute flyer in this final, leading by 2 games to love.
I don't think she could have...
Halep leads 2 games to love first set.
I don't think she could have had a better start than this. And she is sensing that there is an incredible amount of nerves going on through, or coursing through Serena's body, and she's taking full advantage of it as much as she can, because it may not last too long. If they start to have longer rallies, then those nerves and the adrenaline will start to leave Serena's body.
So Williams love 2 down. Halep's hitting a forehand cross-court, the forehand from Williams. Halep with a backhand on the run into the tape.
Serena so far, just looking at the statistics, hit 5 unforced errors already in the first 2 games. Simona, none, and 1 winner.
She's going to have to improve dramatically if she's to win this title against a player like Halep, as Williams missed the first serve.
And that missed by quite a distance, actually, didn't it? I mean, normally we've been talking about how accurate that serve has been, and that was quite wayward, actually, and that's another sign of real nerves.
Backhand return from Halep, the forehand from Williams. Halep hits the forehand to the backhand of Williams. Halep now reaching the low ball, scoops the backhand just inside the baseline. Williams cross-court. Halep down the line with a forehand. This is brilliant from Halep. Williams has got the ball back in play, but it's another winner from Halep on the run. Backhand cross-court, lovely angle. Great winner. The Romanian is off to an absolute scorcher of a start.
Well, that was a blistering backhand, and how far she had to cover the court to come up with that backhand. Absolutely sensational run, and that's one of her greatest assets, is that ability to track down balls and get another ball back into play. Well, she couldn't be more inspired right now.
Yes, for sure.
Love 2, 15 all as Williams serves to the backhand of Halep, and that is on the baseline now by the Romanian. Backhand Williams is into the net.
It's amazing how similar this start of the match is compared to the one from last year. It's like there you could feel the tension as well, and it's like,
I agree with you.
It's very similar, it feels like.
15-30 down, Williams. Halep already has the break. 2-love, she leads. Forehand return. Forehand from Williams. Clubbed cross-court, but again Halep is there. This time, Williams celebrates as Halep's forehand lands a couple of feet over the baseline, but she's playing with such freedom, Simona Halep, and as I pointed out earlier, she's performed well in her Grand Slam finals so far, even if she's only won 1 of the 4 she's played in. But maybe here she's just thinking, do you know what? Freedom.
Yeah,
I think so. Got any expectations on my back, because everybody's looking at Williams as she hits a backhand over the baseline to go break point down again, even though Halep's the higher ranked player, was world #1 this time last year. People are expecting Serena Williams to win, and Halep knows that all the pressure is on Williams, given that chance again for the 3rd time in the space of 12 months to win a record-equalling 24th Grand Slam singles title.
And you can hear Serena just trying to get a little bit louder on the court. She's starting to express herself a little bit more. She's going to try and make Halep feel her presence out there.
Break point again for Halep, and the backhand down the line is a winner. Attacking the kick second serve and playing with just so much joy and freedom and skill. And what a start. She leads by 3 games to love.
Halep leads 3 games to love first set.
Wow, it's kind of taken my breath away, to be honest. I didn't really expect this to happen. I thought that Halep would be way more nervous than she has shown to be. And of course, she sensed straight away, and she is literally doing what she needed to do, which was take advantage of a really uptight Serena Williams. It's so evident in her breathing, the way she's hitting the ball. The ball is leaving the strings very quickly, and she'll be panicking right now.
Patrick Mouratoglou gave us a lot of detail in that interview before the final started, Kim, about the way they're dealing with the expectations without actually telling us the conversations he's having for obvious reasons. But clearly his approach is to admit that there's an enormous amount of pressure on Serena Williams. He used the word failure in conjunction with her defeats to Angelique Kerber and Naomi Osaka in those 2 finals last year, and said it's his job to get her in the emotional space in which this time round she's able to cope with those enormous expectations.
I understand what he's trying to say, but I don't think he's a hypnotist. So I think, once you're out there, you are still influenced by everything that's going on, and you can, before the match talk about it, or the day before the match have a different approach. But when you get out there, the matches last year here at Wimbledon, the US Open, they will have had an effect on Serena a little bit. And but although she hasn't had a good start, we know what a fighter Serena is as well. And she will try to work her way back into this match.
Backhand hit deep by Williams, and Halep's hit another winner, hitting the forehand down the line in behind Williams, and having got 2 breaks of serve already in the bank, she's won the opening point on serve here.
Well, it's going to stress Serena also if these rallies become extended and Halep ends up on top of them like she just did there. And Serena looked a little stranded and was left just watching that ball go by.
Halep with a first serve into the net. 27 years of age, so a decade younger than Serena Williams. She's 3 inches shorter at 5'6". The backhand from Williams is missed. It's long, and understandably, when you're under pressure like this, then errors that you wouldn't expect Serena Williams to make are cropping up just that little bit more frequently. Elina Svitolina beaten in straight sets in the semi-finals by Halep as she serves to the forehand of Williams. That was hit with enormous power cross-court, and not even Simona Halep can return that.
30-15.
Serena, her breathing at the moment, it's almost like very upper chest breathing. And
she's actually struggling to breathe, isn't she? Yeah. She's so uptight.
Forehand return from Williams. Forehand hit by Halep to the backhand of Williams. Nicely struck by Williams, who's now inside the baseline and missing a forehand.
Setting up the point very well. It was just with the winner where she put so much pressure on Simona, but when she was capable or able to step inside the court 2 steps, she just tried to overhit it a little bit. And but that's what Simona does. She forces you to go for the lines and to take a little bit more risk.
40-15, 2 game points for a 4-love lead for Simona Halep in the first set of this ladies singles final on 5 Live. The backhand cross-court from Williams wins her a point as Halep's backhand, stretching for it, lands over the baseline.
40-13.
She's definitely ramping up the power, and Serena Williams has just turned her back on Simona Halep. She's just gathering her breath once again. And you feel like she's just going to keep on trying to get rid of this adrenaline that's running through her.
Ace from Halep. And that was the perfect time to find an ace, especially when she's only served 9 in the championship so far. As Annabelle said, the pressure was starting to rise. The force of Serena Williams' replies were more and more noticeable. Halep conjures up an ace and leads by 4 games to love.
There's this kind of like a electricity around the court at the moment.
You can hear the crowd
buzz,
buzzing. And
I mean, it's 12 minutes in and 4-love already. It's just extraordinary, the pace of the match.
Williams gets the first serve in play and Halep puts a forehand into the net. Worked a long way out of court by the direction of that first serve.
So far, Simona playing a very, very smart match as well. Not overdoing too much, just making sure that she plays the ball into court and makes Serena move. And I think most of the long rallies have been won by Simona.
Forehand return from Halep over the baseline. More good serving from Williams, who's won 9 of their 10 meetings. The only win for Halep was in the round-robin stages of the end-of-year WTA finals in 2014. She thrashed Williams on that occasion, 6-love, 6-2, and Williams says that's the one she remembers best of all. She knows just how dangerous Halep can be. Forehand from Williams down the line. She's in at the net. The lob from Halep, the smash from Williams. Halep with the backhand, and now Williams will let it bounce and hit the forehand away. And for the first time in the match, she's looking very comfortable on serve.
And had a lot of support from the crowd there. I think they're trying to give her a little bit of a boost out here.
They want this to be a close match as well. They know what's on the line for Serena.
They had a 3-set match when they met in the 4th round of the Australian Open earlier this year. Williams took the decider 6-4. And there's a hole to love for Williams. Halep unable to make the return. So finally, only 13 minutes into the match, but after 4 games had gone Halep's way, Williams is on the board, Jonathan.
Extraordinary start. 5 Live on centre court at Wimbledon. How often do you see 5 games pass by in just 13 minutes so infrequently? Kim Clijsters, let's cut to the chase on this. Why is she so nervous? How much of it is down to the chase for the record?
I think it's that in mind, the record of trying to equal Margaret Court, 24 Grand Slams, but I think also a little bit thinking of what has happened in the past, and we don't know really what went on in Serena's mind after the US Open. She's talked about being a little bit depressed afterwards and didn't know if she wanted to play tennis, and when she started, she said she took a break from tennis afterwards. So it's all these emotional kind of circumstances that you get thrown in when you have experiences on the tennis court, when they're good or bad, and they have an influence when you are on a big stage, and sometimes they can have a positive influence, and sometimes they can have at times a little bit of an overwhelming experience and influence, and I think that's what we're seeing a little bit here today. But on the other hand, Simona is playing incredibly well, and I think Serena is capable of turning this around if Simona drops her level a little bit.
4-1, Halep leads, and there's a forehand she's hitting onto the baseline. Williams with the backhand, very, very deep. Halep's backhand also deep. Forehand from Williams, forehand from Halep. Williams with the forehand down the line. She moves in towards the net, and the volley, and the come on. And that's more like it, Serena Williams. You just get the impression this match is now a contest. Here we go.
Yeah. It feels like the match is about to start, and Simona Halep trying desperately to take any ball she can and do something with it, not just do nothing with it, because otherwise Serena is going to start taking control of these rallies.
Yeah, she's definitely getting a better rhythm out there in these last few rallies. You can see that.
Halep at love 15, a second serve. Backhand from Williams down the line. Halep with the squash shot forehand and now running onto a backhand and going cross-court for the winner. She's dropped that on the sideline. Extraordinary shot.
And Serena Williams applauding that beautiful cross-court pass. I mean, that's one of her greatest assets, as we keep saying, her movement and ability to kind of defend and track, even if she's on the full stretch. I mean, she just was so off balance when she tried to play that, but just managed to control the wrists and get that ball to dip.
4-1, 15 all. Backhand from Halep, but the call, as you heard, from our line judge, signalling that the first serve was out. This serve from Halep onto the forehand of Williams, slapped back very hard in reply. The backhand from Williams onto the backhand of Halep. Forehand hit very hard cross-court by Williams, and her turn to find a mark just inside the sideline. Breathtaking stroke play.
15-13.
Well, that backhand, Kim, was something that I think Halep didn't do enough with that backhand. She just sort of went a little bit safe, bigger margins, it sat up, and if she does that, then Serena is going to strike.
15-30 on the Halep serve. Excellent serve, and the return from Williams is 3 or 4 feet over the baseline. Halep has run 4.5 kilometres further than Williams in their 6 matches so far. That's almost 50% as far again. She serves now, down the middle. She's got a high ball, which she returns on the backhand to the forehand of Williams. Forehand down the line from Halep. Williams hits the backhand in reply. Now running onto a forehand, Williams, and netting.
40-13.
Simona really using that forehand very well to draw Serena out of the court. And just making Serena just move a little bit wider. Serena started to work her way into the rallies a little bit here and being dominant early on in the points and going for more winners. But Simona very smartly started to just maybe not overhanding it, but just going to the sidelines a little bit more.
4-1, 40-30, game point for Halep. Forehand return Williams. Whew, that was just hit so powerfully. Yep, it was there to be hit. Halep just about managed to get the frame of her racket to the ball, but again, Serena Williams stepping it up, and she's taken Halep to juice for the first time in this final. Too big, the first serve from Halep, as she's watched on from the royal box by many previous ladies singles champions at Wimbledon. Forehand is a winner from Williams down the line, and for the first time it's a break point for the 7-time Wimbledon singles champion.
Williams.
Well, that serve was 83 miles per hour, but it's where it was placed. It was so short, it had nothing on it, and Serena, it's almost like being fed a practice ball, isn't it?
It was right in the hitting zone of Serena.
Break point to get one of the breaks back for Williams. Forehand from Halep is onto the baseline. Williams now hits the sideline. Halep goes cross-court. Williams goes cross-court and wide, and Halep has saved the break point.
Well, that was interesting because Halep chose to take something off that first serve, and she spun that one right down the centre at the body of Serena Williams. I think she really wanted to get a first serve in and not have another second serve just smashed for a winner. So quite smart there, actually.
4-1, juice. Brilliant serving by Halep. 99 miles an hour. She won't be serving at 122 miles an hour. That's the fastest serve of the championship, served by Serena Williams. But the placement there, out wide to the Williams forehand, was immaculate. And she has a game point, having saved a break point to move 5-1 in front, within touching distance of this first set of the ladies' final on 5 Live. Second serve from Halep. Forehand Williams. Backhand Halep. Absorbing a lot of pace there. Halep getting another forehand in play. Williams goes cross-court with a forehand, and an amazing winner again from Halep.
Oh, my goodness me.
Well, it's exhibition stuff. Forehand, cross-court, smashed away for the winner.
Well, she was on the ropes and almost on the floor, wasn't she, if she'd been a boxer? But just a squash shot forehand, all off balance, but got it back into play, then another one, and then found the gap and found the outright winner. This is outstanding play from Halep.
Definitely. Serena did nothing wrong there. She played aggressive, but Simona, like we know, so good on the run and at times more aggressive when
Williams
she's on the run.
Goes down the line with a forehand to win the first point of game number 7. She may well have been shell-shocked by the start that Simona Halep made, but you definitely feel that even if she loses this first set, 6-1 or 2, she's going to be right in it from the start of set number 2. Backhand from Williams, forehand Halep into the tape.
30 love.
We saw Simona really anticipate the serve of Serena very well. Even before she hit that ball, she moved over to the forehand side to hit the forehand return, and so she's anticipating this match very well so
and that
far.
would be of real concern to the Serena Williams camp. A forehand, it's an easy put away for Williams behind the big first serve. So again here, making short work of this particular service game. Some of those former champions in the Royal Box: Marion Bartley, Angela Mortimer, Ann Jones, Conchita Martinez, Martina Navratilova and Virginia Wade, with a few acting stars as well: Woody Harrelson, Mark Rylance and Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker in the Royal Box as well. As well as the Prime Minister and the Duchesses of Sussex and Cambridge. Backhand return from Halep into the net. So Williams holds again. 5-2. It's still a very, very handy cushion for the Romanian.
Balls, please. Halep leads 5-2 first set.
Well, some of the shots Simona Halep is playing out here, I mean, you've seen them on the tour, Russell. You know what she can do. But for the casual observers here in centre court and watching around the world today, they will know that this is a player well and truly capable, Annabelle, of winning this Wimbledon title. She has started in nerveless fashion.
Yeah, she has. I think, as we said before, when we saw her outside the locker room and you just saw that smile on her face, and her face looked clear and free from stress. And we often say that about the players. You can see so much in their facial expressions and you can see when the tension is there. And I thought Serena looked very, very tight, very nervous, and so it proved to be in the start. And, you know, none of us can imagine, you know, the weight that is bearing down on her shoulders and her emotions in this kind of moment. You know, it happened, as Kim pointed out, here in the final last year against Kerber and again at the US Open, and you know that baggage, that mental baggage, is clearly just sitting there kind of festering at the moment. I have no doubt that she's going to get herself back involved in this match. It's not going to be easy even to close out this first set, I don't think, for Halep.
And it won't be helping, Serena, that the fact that so many of the Halep winners so far have come from Serena shots that she would have expected to have won the point with. Here she goes, Halep serving for the set. Russell.
And she has the first point as the Williams return is returned with interest. Too much over the baseline. 3 points away from taking the first set with just 23 minutes on the clock. Not that anybody can complain about lack of value for money so far. Forehand from Williams, trying to keep this set alive. The forehand from Halep. Williams will hit the backhand to the Halep backhand down the line, and into the tape goes Simona Halep, the 7th seed from Constanta in Romania, venue for an infamous Fed Cup tie a couple of years ago, but a very nice part of the world to visit in April, as we did. Forehand return from Williams. Now she's making room to hit a backhand. They're both hitting very, very deep in the court. Cross court goes Williams, down the line Halep. The backhand cross court from Williams. Halep gets a backhand in play, and Williams again has no answer. Seemed to lose her footing and has put a rather tame backhand into the net.
Wow, well, it was an outstanding backhand from Serena Williams. I think we all thought it was a winner. Somehow Halep, I don't know how she got a racket to it and got it back into play, but that's the first real sign of stress from Serena. She turned round, looked at Patrick and everybody up there.
Doubt as well.
There was doubt there, and she was raising her arms as if, what do I have to do?
30-15, 2 points away from the first set. Halep hits a backhand down the middle. Forehand from Halep after a deep return by Williams, who's now moving in towards the net. The half volley from Williams is over the baseline. And again, she's been made to look so uncomfortable by the all-round brilliance of Simona Halep, who has thoroughly earned herself 2 set points after just 25 minutes of this ladies' final on centre court.
Well, she almost looks as if she's hyperventilating because the breathing has got so high up in her chest, and she's really trying to calm herself down out here.
40-15, set point number 1. And the first serve flashes past Williams, but it also flashes past the service line. Set point number 1, second serve, forehand winner Williams. What's all the fuss about?
Well, she almost needs to unleash some of those. I mean, we've seen her trying to unleash the power, and it's just that Halep has just played golden tennis out here.
But Serena hasn't played anybody like this, who brings so many balls back.
Set point number 2, and the forehand is wide from Serena Williams. 26 minutes is all it took. An utterly devastating performance from Simona Halep in her first ever Wimbledon final against the 7-time champion Serena Williams. She's won it by 6 games to 2.
And so much of the focus, if this continues, will be on Serena Williams. Why it went this way, but make no mistake, Simona Halep thoroughly deserves that first set, as Russell has just told you. Devastating, 6-2. And the second set to come here on 5 Live from centre court after the latest BBC News. Mitch Mansfield.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Jeremy Hunt and his Conservative leadership rival Boris Johnson have defended the right of the press to publish material that's in the public interest. It's after Scotland Yard said that media organisations could be prosecuted for publishing leaked government documents. A criminal investigation has begun into the leaking of Sir Kim Darroch's emails criticising President Trump's administration. A British person is reported to be among 26 people killed in an attack by an Islamist group on a hotel in southern Somalia. It's thought 2 Americans, 3 Kenyans and a Canadian are also among those who died. Armed police have been called to the Arndale shopping centre in Manchester after reports of a man with a gun. Officers say they didn't find anyone with a firearm and there's no cause for concern. And police are investigating after a woman was sexually assaulted at the Transmit Festival in Glasgow. The 32-year-old was grabbed by one man and then attacked by another near the main stage before they were disturbed by other people.
BBC 5 Live.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal.
It's 50 years since the Apollo 11 spaceflight landed the first humans on the surface of the moon.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things.
All engine running. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
I'm Anna Foster, and on Tuesday I'm spending the day at the National Space Centre in Leicester to mark the anniversary of this incredible feat of engineering and explore what the future holds for manned space missions.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Wimbledon 2019 with Jonathan Overend and Gigi Salmon
on 5 Live.
Best of 3 sets, of course, for the Wimbledon women's singles title. Serena Williams has to win this second set to still have a chance. The way Halep has started, though, she's won the first set 6-2, and she's just won the first point of the second set with another extraordinary forehand. Williams, though, stretching to put away a forehand winner to win the second point. This is bubbling up really nicely. And here we go with the second set. Annabelle Croft and Kim Clijsters joined by Gigi for commentary.
Thank you, Jonathan. You may have just heard the roar. It wasn't from Annabelle or from Kim. It was from Serena Williams. She won a point.
Thank you.
And maybe just got a little bit off her chest.
I think she needed to do that.
Yes.
I think she's trying to make her presence felt out here and just make sure that Halep knows that she's going to be here fighting and right in her face psychologically.
I mean, she emptied her lungs and then some. I didn't expect to be back with you after 26 minutes, and if I was to be back with you, it wasn't that Serena Williams had lost the first set in her 11th Wimbledon final 6-2. Williams on the stretch out wide with the forehand, then up the line goes Halep. Halep scramping to the backhand side. Oh, wow. OK. Serena Williams means business. She might not have the business bun that Chanda Rubin spoke about earlier in the tournament, but she is roaring and she is yelling and she is doing everything to get herself going.
Well, this is going to be very difficult moments for Halep, I think, to try to sort of put to one side this character that is suddenly coming out on the court here. This intimidating character.
It is.
It's a loud character. Serve down the tee. It's got back from Halep. Short ball for Williams. Oh, but she misses. She misses. Doesn't get the feet right. Slams it long, and it's 30-all.
And the left hand has just come out. We always know that about Serena Williams when she sort of pushes her left hand down and out and spreads her palm. It's her way of, it's a little signal, isn't it, that means calm down. And I think she really overcooked that last shot.
Pressure point here at 30-all in the first game of the second set. It's a looping return. It pushes Williams back into forehand cross-court. The forehand cross-court on the angle from Halep. And then down the line for the winner goes Williams. No noise from Serena Williams on this occasion. She's telling herself once again to calm down, and she has a point.
I think those first 2 points also it takes a lot out of you. You know, when you get that adrenaline going and you yell like that, and you know the balance you need. You need to fire up your adrenaline a little bit, but at the same time you need to calm down and focus before you start serving and before you start playing that point.
She has a point for the first game of the second set, having lost the first set in 26 minutes, 6-2. Williams serves out wide, drops it a little bit short. The backhand's in play, cross-court. Halep swings into the forehand and goes up the line. Ooh, just misses. Misses the back edge of the baseline. She looks up to a box. The Halep box are on their feet. And Serena Williams, that's why we're getting that round of applause. She was broken in her first game of the first set. She has held serve.
Well, also interesting because normally Serena will walk round the other side of the net post, particularly on the first game change, and she did it in the first set, but there she's chosen to go right past Halep. I don't know whether that's just another sort of signal.
Superstitious, maybe.
Maybe.
You know, she doesn't want to do the same thing that she did in the first set.
Or Annabelle, do you think it's her walking past Halep saying, yep, I'm here and I'm in business?
Maybe, yeah.
It felt like that.
Yeah, it could be.
She's a little bit taller, 5'9" to the 5'6" of the Romanian. A little bit older, 37 to the 27 of the Romanian. It's the Romanian who's serving it. She knew she would have to serve. Well, she knew she'd have to do everything, Kim, pretty well today, Simona Halep, and so far she's doing just that.
She is. She's playing a very, very high standard match so far, and especially this game is going to be an important one. I think if she can stay in the set with Serena, get it to 1-1.
Forehand from Halep, cross-court drops a little bit short. The forehand cross-court onto the line from Williams, into the net from Halep, and it's 15-all.
I think Williams is starting to look more comfortable on these ground strokes. She's starting to spread the court a little bit more and get those balls so wider and pushing Halep more off balance when she's trying to take some of those balls up the line.
32 minutes played, 2:42 in the afternoon. Saturday at Wimbledon, ladies singles final. Simona Halep in her first Wimbledon final, looking for her second Grand Slam title. Serena Williams, as we've talked about, looking for Grand Slam singles title number 24. She's been looking for it for a while now as the serve goes to the forehand of Williams. Williams, ooh, she just misses. She had gone in behind Williams, but into the tram lines goes Halep, and then a bit of pressure at 15:30.
Big point here.
Waiting on the baseline, Serena Williams, foot to foot. Now she steps into the forehand, puts it back into the middle of the court. A forehand angled into the corner from Halep, who plays a double-handed backhand down the other wing. She's got Williams on the move, and that has worked so well for her, 30-all.
Well, it does when she goes kind of into the backhand corner and then definitely straight into the forehand corner with quite a lot of width. So it gets Serena really, really moving and travelling. And that was the tactic I think Kerber used so well last year, getting her on the run.
Beaten in straight sets by Angelique Kerber this time last year. Serena Williams. Simona Halep, who before this tournament didn't like grass. Now she's starting to like it a little bit more.
I'm sure she's liking it at the moment.
Yeah. She ends up winning this title, she will forever be in love with it.
But Annabelle, what you just said about the tactics of not hitting too many balls to the same corner when you play against Serena is definitely something that I always try to do as well, because she's so good when she, you know, is when you hit it in her striking zone. But if you can keep her, you know, guessing and offer her feet on her back feet a little bit, that's when at times she, you know, I felt like she would overhit it a little bit, or that's why.
But she's drawing more errors from Williams. She was 15-30 down. She passed Kim. You said that was going to be a big game, and Simona Halep passed the test.
Yeah, it definitely did. She made Serena hit some unforced errors. And, you know, what I love about Simona's game is that she doesn't give you anything for free in the important moments. And there's a lot of girls, you know, that, you know, 15-30 down in this case, you know, maybe you miss the first serve or hit a double fault, but Simona hardly ever gives you easy mistakes like that. So Serena really has to go and take it if she wants to get it, if she wants to win it.
One game apiece. Second set, first set, if you're just joining us, Simona Halep in 26 minutes, 6-2. She is playing some outstanding tennis.
Miss Halep is challenging the call on the left, near
But
sideline.
can she keep that level? Can she keep redlining at this top level to get this Wimbledon title?
That's in.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think Serena can believe that. She's staring at the screen. I must admit, it did look a little bit wide from our angle, but obviously clipped the line.
They are replaying the point. First point of the third game of the second set on centre court. The sun has dipped away, there's clouds up above, but the air is still as Williams misses out wide.
The whole energy that Simona is bringing to the court is someone who now believes she can win this. She's just about, you know, just the way she's walking and holding herself.
15 love.
But let's not forget that could change as well. If she gets into a position where she, you know, could break or be up 1 or 2 breaks in the set and has a chance, you know, where you start to feel like, oh, maybe I can do this and I can win my first Wimbledon title. Yeah, so we'll see. Very interesting all.
Yeah, there's probably a long way to go in this final. The Venus Rosewater dish awaits the winner as Williams, who's held that on 7 occasions, plays the drop shot, and Halep, it was a wide shot because she was a long way back and almost slipped on the bald spot at the back of the court.
30 love.
Well, that's not going to feel great for Halep because movement is such a massive part of what she brings here, and her right foot went away from her.
Away, yeah.
And that make her just a little bit wary from here on.
Serve out wide, it's blocked back, it's a high ball. Williams goes in behind Simona Halep. With his softly hit, found the court, 40 love.
40 love.
Interesting moment there, Halep just turning around at her camp and shaking her head as if I didn't do enough with that backhand. Doesn't need to get negative with herself now.
She's in a very positive place. 3 game points for Serena Williams, who misses the first serve. Doesn't hold on to a second ball, so she will turn around and take the first ball that's offered to her. Ready with the second serve, and the serve goes out wide, a little bit short, but it's ballooned back on the backhand side from Simona Halep. So Serena Williams on serve in the second set, 2-1. It's Simona Halep by a set to love. Now at 2:47, we're going to join Alex Jakes at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix qualifying.
Yes, just about to head to the top 10 shootout. Charles Leclerc faster than Valtteri Bottas, and world champion Lewis Hamilton hoping to delight the home crowd and take another pole, aiming for 7 poles here at Silverstone. He's ahead of Max Verstappen and in P5 Sebastian Vettel, but it is looking very tight and very competitive at the top, Jolyon Palmer.
Really tough to call. Ferrari or Mercedes. Leclerc's the lead Ferrari right now, the man that took pole last time out in Austria, but he's going to have to hold off the threat of Mercedes. Bottas and Hamilton neck and neck behind him, and Hamilton around Silverstone is just so good. He took pole here last year by a smidge, and that's going to be the big threat for Charles Leclerc in this qualifying session coming up.
The conclusion to qualifying, you can hear it all on Sports Extra.
Against her.
Thank you very much. So for all your F1 needs, that is currently 5 Live Sports Extra. And don't forget, we've got the pop-up station tomorrow, so you won't miss a second of the British Grand Prix. You can also follow it on the website and the app. There is a TMS takeover tomorrow for the Cricket World Cup final, England against New Zealand. The men's final, Roger Federer against Novak Djokovic, will be on 5 Live Sports Extra. That match gets underway, as this one did, at 2 o'clock.
Thank you. Ready for play.
Everyone retakes their seats. Silence. You can hear a pin drop at Wimbledon. It's so unique in terms of the Grand Slams to have this kind of silence as the serve goes down the centre, down the tee from Halep, and the backhand is played, but it's ballooned from Williams.
Just overhitting that backhand a little bit. I think she needs there's a fine line between being aggressive and going for the sidelines, or going for a winner and feeling like you have to do more than what's feeling comfortable for you at that moment.
She's standing up on the baseline, Serena Williams. She opens up the forehand and goes down the line. The backhand comes back at her, and then she puts the forehand cross-court and out from Williams, who cannot believe it. Simona Halep, quick between points, takes the ball, looks up, wearing the white visor, takes a quick glance up from under the visor, gets into position, ready to serve now at 30-love and serve down the tee, and the block back, it's a short ball, drop shot Halep, here comes Williams, scoops it up, what does Halep do? She goes back to Williams, who blocks it well with a volley, the lob is over the head of Williams' head, and she puts the lob up herself, and Halep steps back, it's a high bouncing ball, it's a smash from the back of the court, and it goes behind Serena Williams, fist bump from Simona Halep, 40-love.
Serena looking at Simona like, what else do I have to do for you to make a mistake? You know, Serena actually moving very well in this point and defending well, and because that wasn't an easy smash that Simona had to hit to hit a winner.
3 game points to level up at 2-all. The backhand of the Romanian. That shot's a little bit short and high, and Williams now with the forehand, but she nets it, dribbles off her racket into it again. She's just replaying that shot in almost a balletic style with a very soft movement of the hand. She's breathing heavily, and she has an awful lot of work to do if she is going to equal Margaret Court's record of 24 Grand Slam singles titles.
She's having a little running commentary with herself in her mind there. She was again, after she did that little soft hand movement, then she did another kind of like calm down again, and she was talking to herself. Awful lot going on in this match at the moment.
Game number 5, served down the centre. Yet, as when we were chatting at the last break, Kim pointing out, we haven't had an ace yet from Serena Williams. She's the ace leader at this Wimbledon. She's being out-aced by Simona Halep.
Definitely. So far, 45 aces for Serena in the tournament and not one yet this match. So I think it's, you know, Serena maybe not serving at her best, but also Simona returning extremely well and reading Serena's serves very well.
Things brighten up on centre court as the sun tries to break free from the clouds that have bubbled up above the opened roof. It was almost closed earlier today, but it is wide open now. Now the sun breaks free. Serena Williams at the royal box end, serves out wide. The backhand to the feet of Williams, who redirects the backhand down the line. Good depth of that from Williams. She's dictating on this point. She comes to the net. But the defence from Halep, the overhead from Williams. Halep gets there, goes forehand, cross-court. Can she finish it off, Williams? Halep gets there. Williams, can she finish it off? No, she can't. Incredible, extraordinary defence from Simona Halep to win the point and move to love 30.
We just saw Simona Halep turn to the back of the court and give the fist bump to Tyriak, who's actually sitting right behind her over there. They're very close, and he's a big fan of her and always there to cheer her on for the big moments. So she's got support on both sides of the court.
Wow, what defence from Simona Halep. So Serena Williams under pressure now at love 30, serves out wide. That's a quick cheek point. Williams has her good friend, the Duchess of Sussex, in the front row alongside the Duchess of Cambridge. Worrying times, though, for Serena Williams here. Set down 15-30, needs this first serve, doesn't get it, collapses into it. Husband, Alexis, just leaning forward in the front row of the box. Sister Venus is in the back row. Expressionless Venus Williams. As Serena Williams now serves, and ooh, that was a deep serve. She gets a short return, she steps on the forehand. Can Halep pass her? The stretch for the volley for Williams. Court is open. Halep! Break point, Simona Halep.
Incredible.
Well, she's just so onto everything, isn't she?
15-14.
I mean, what surprises me the most is the anticipation of Simona.
Me too. She just seems to be reading the play so well.
Everything. You know, Serena, it almost feels like she has to come with incredible shots every time to win the rally or to hit a winner against Simona, because otherwise Simona is there and is doing something with the ball to kind of take advantage again in that, you know, in the rally when she's behind.
Second serve, 15-40, break points. The backhand from the Romanian, the stretch and the backhand from the American. The forehand whip cross-court from Halep onto the service line. It's deep on the forehand from Williams, who winds up the backhand and goes down the line. The forehand loops up, sits up, high angle, brought down, cross-court forehand Williams. Break points Halep. Cross-court goes Williams. Stretch on the backhand goes Halep. Here comes Williams. On the line she goes, Serena Williams. She hangs her head, the arm is outstretched. She has been broken to 15. Again, incredible defence from Simona Halep. My word, the level of tennis, Jonathan, we are witnessing at the moment from Simona Halep is incredible. She leads by a set and a break 3-2.
It's champion stuff. It is champion stuff. And she is just 3 games away from being the champion, Simona Halep. And as every game ticks down from here, it will get more and more real, I suppose. And will there be a twist to come? Kim Kleiss, is that word you used a moment ago, anticipation. Just looking at her receiving serve, Halep, she seems to be able to pick that Williams serve. Now, clearly they've played many times before, she's got lots of Williams matches to watch back in preparation for this. But is there a little twitch, something about the ball toss that she will be able to read to judge where it's going? Because she seems to know every time.
Yeah, I think it's at times it's like it's not that you're focusing on the ball toss, but at times you just feel it. It's not that we all know that Serena likes, the serve down the tee, but normally she's somebody who puts a lot of variety into her serve. But like you said, Simona is reading the Serena serve really well, and usually, I don't think it is because she can read the ball toss. I think it's just she's just has a very good feel for it out there at the moment. It's in the ground strokes as well. She's just reading Serena her game extremely well.
To be a set and a break ahead in the Wimbledon final. It's all yours, Simona Halep, and it's back to you, Gigi.
I think the key thing for Simona Halep is just not to think right now. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't overthink. Actually, maybe don't try and think at all. Forehand stretch into the net from the Romanian, because every game she gets on the board, she gets a little step closer to realising a dream.
It is, and she knows that she's playing a very, very high standard match so far, and she knows that that's what it takes if she wants to win this match.
3-2 serve into the boy. That's good with Serena's bunch her up with the serve and stretch it into the corner. Lob is up from Williams. The ball will not land in. And it's clever, intelligent play from Simona Halep.
Definitely. That last serve, only 92 miles per hour, but into the body and swinging into her to tuck her up, and then that first strike to get her on the move again. So everything she's doing is absolutely spot on. And it's one thing to have those tactics when you come out onto the court. It's quite another to be able to execute it. And, the way she's doing it, she's actually playing magical tennis.
Yeah, she certainly is. As she crouches down, hits the forehand, sits up a little bit for the Williams backhand down the line. It's 15-all. It's 3-2 Halep with the break as she hits the backhand off the baseline from Williams. Williams having to move so much, it clips over the top, it drops over. There's a little slice of luck for Serena Williams, who apologises with the hand held up, but then turns her back and shakes her head.
And Halep very quick to just look away from that ball, as if to say, don't let that affect you, just move on, forget about it, and let's just get on with the next point.
Serena Williams has described Simona Halep ahead of this final like a little powerhouse, and she certainly is. The powerhouse comes into the corner. She goes to the inside-out forehand to level up at 30-all.
The variety in Simona's serves have been very well throughout this match. We've seen her hit, even this game, a couple of body serves. This one she hit down the tee. We saw a little bit of chalk fly up. So just making Serena guess from the return onwards.
30-all. Tactics have been spot on so far. And there we go, the quick point with the serve. She takes a deep breath, she clinches the left palm, and I like the way she's being very quick. She doesn't want to give herself time to think. Finishes a point, gets the ball, steps up to the baseline, she's ready.
Yep. She's not going to get any violation or warnings for time.
No, she could take a lot more, but she's not, and she has a point to consolidate the break.
Wow.
She draws the error. She finds the depth on her shot. She draws the error from Williams, and she consolidates for 4-2.
Well, it's now starting to make me think.
Halep leads 4-2, second set.
This is a massive step up in level for Serena Williams in terms of the opponents that she played. You think of Alison Risk, who took her to 3 sets out here at Wimbledon, and
that was not nearly what she's facing at the moment.
Exactly.
Movement-wise,
everything.
Yeah.
And considering she'd only played 12 matches, was it, during the course of the year ahead of the Wimbledon Championships? She's not been pushed like she is here today.
No.
And Halep came pretty close at the Australian Open.
I didn't think after 48 minutes I would be saying that this is a must-win game for Serena Williams, but it is now. Double faults. Love 15, a set and 2-4 down.
She's kind of gone into her shell again a little bit, hasn't she? She was bringing that character to the court, and it's gone away again.
Serve down the centre from Halep, a slightly mishit from Halep, but into the net from Williams, and it's love 30.
It's something that Angie Kerber did last year, and I'm in a way, I want to ask her coach, or even Darren Cahill, who's still involved in Simona, her team, is if they looked at the match that Angie played last year, because it feels like it's a very similar situation. She's staying in Simona very much staying in her zone, not letting anything distract her, and that's something that Angie did extremely well last year too.
15-30.
They must have looked at those tapes, mustn't they?
Yeah.
Halep steps back, opens up the forehand, hits it long 30-all.
It's really interesting. She's definitely reading that serve, because she's already
every time.
She moves all the time across to the right when she's looking for that serve down the tee. Twice she's shifted across there, Halep.
Are we having a break point or a game point? It's 30-all. Oh, that's an enormous serve. And it's almost as if she's saying, where's that been? Why after 50 minutes am I suddenly discovering that serve? A point for 3-4, just to keep it to one break, keep the pressure on Halep, because at some point she'll have to answer one of the most difficult questions in tennis. Can she serve this out to be a Wimbledon champion? Serve out wide, the backhand is looped back, touches the back edge of the baseline. Halep on the attack, deep with her ground strokes, backhand low, cross court from the Romanian, into the net from the American, and it's deuce.
It's true what you said. It's like she's kind of backed off a little bit. Also from the level, the intensity in her ground strokes have definitely gone down a bit as well.
Yeah, she just looks a little bit subdued again. She's kind of gone very flat, whereas we were hearing that roar and she was really making her presence felt. That's gone away.
It's deuce. Halep scampers to the backhand side, goes down the line. Williams into the net. Is break point for 5-2.
Advantage, Halep.
Incredible situation we find ourselves in. 51 minutes on the clock. Simona Halep, a set, 6-2, 4-2. A point now for the double break for her to serve for the championships. Williams gets a serve down the tee. Oh, wow.
Bad bounce.
Wow.
She almost overran that because she was anticipating it, and then the leg cord actually brought it back the other way, and she kind of almost, it hit her leg. But again, it's all about this reading that toss, which not many people can do.
Deuce. Serena Williams serves out wide. The forehand is into the net, and it's a game point.
And this is a very big game for Simona. In her mind, she tries to go up 5-2 here with a double break, so that when she has the chance to serve it out, she gets a little bit tight. She has another chance if she doesn't make it. So you want to give yourself a nice lead to give yourself a little bit of breathing room when you have to serve it out for your first Wimbledon title.
It's a point for Williams, who just nets another backhand error. She hangs her head, and it's deuce.
Her body language has definitely, gone down a bit compared to the start of the second set. Even in the first set, there was still a different type of Serena out there.
Halep looks menacing. She's wide stance. She runs back. She opens up the forehand, plays it up the line. The backhand cross court from Williams. Backhand scooped up and deep from Halep. And Halep scampers the forehand. So the movement of Halep on this grass as she steps in with the backhand cross court, trying to draw Williams in. But Williams nets, and it's break point Halep. And she just looks up to her box. Simona Halep takes a deep breath. They're all man to a man, which is what the front row is, on their feet. Her mum is in the back row, as is her dad. Break point for 5-2. Williams misses on the first serve, hangs ahead, turns around, takes another ball, and Halep is looking up at them again, and they've got their fists pumping out, going, come on, this is it. This could be it. This would be the double break. Halep steps inside the baseline, hits the backhand. Oh, back edge of the baseline from Halep, who slams the forehand down the line. Williams is on the defence. Halep's on the attack. She gets the winner. Fist pump from Simona Halep. Fist pump up to the box. 5-2. Simona Halep leads Serena Williams, and very shortly she will be serving to be crowned Wimbledon champion.
4 games in a row for Simona Halep. It's a steamroller heading towards the Wimbledon Championship right now, unless Serena Williams can completely turn this around. Just to tell you that Valtteri Bottas will be on pole for tomorrow's British Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton alongside him on the front row of the grid, going for 6 British titles, of course, and Charles Leclerc in third. The British Grand Prix you can listen to through the BBC Sport website and app. There'll also be a pop-up DAB channel tomorrow. You will need to refresh your DAB digital radios and search for 5 Live Formula One. Well, Kim Clijsters, this is a situation that only a select group of you know about. That feeling of getting up from a chair to serve for a Grand Slam title. What does that feel like?
well, there's different stages. When I was younger, it felt very overwhelming, and at times I felt like my arm was too heavy to hold my racket, or that I didn't have enough power in it anymore. But then towards the later part of my career, it's one of the best feelings out there. And you know, especially when you're in Simona's situation, you know, you've been playing incredible tennis, and you want to be able to keep it going for, you know, at least 4 more points to win the tournament.
Well, Halep, very quick to step up to the line, very positive body language, and she's taking it to Serena.
15
and she's 3 points away from the title. Again, very quick between points. She's ready. This is Nick Kyrgios style, how quick she is.
Serena with those hand movements once again, just like almost like forget it, move on.
She's on the baseline, Williams. She plays the forehand. She gets it over the net. It's scooped up inside out forehand from Halep. Halep with a double-handed backhand. Williams hugging that baseline. Goes cross-court and long. Another error to add to the list for Serena Williams. And Halep is 2 points away.
Serena's trying, you know, she's trying different things. She's trying to take a little bit of the pace off the ball. She's trying to be more aggressive, stand in front of the baseline. But Simona has an answer for everything.
And after 55 minutes on centre court, Simona Halep has triple championship points. It has been a simply stunning display by the Romanian. 5-2, 40 love, championship point. Halep reaches up and serves and clips the top of the net. She spins around, takes another ball. She's ready. Serena Williams is on the baseline. Foot to foot she goes. Championship point, Halep. Halep reaches up and serves.
Oh, she went for that, didn't she? She's looking like she just wants to race through it. She doesn't even want to think about the nerves. She just wants to really go for it.
Championship point. 5-2, 40 love. She reaches up and serves deep. The backhand is in play and the forehand is whipped cross-court by Halep, and there it is! Simona Halep is the Wimbledon champion! She's done it in under an hour. She has defeated Serena Williams, and she closes out the win. 6-2, 6-2. Halep on her knees stands up and is embraced by Serena Williams at the net. But what an incredible display of tennis from the Romanian. Hands on head, she stares up to her box. She simply cannot believe it. But believe it she must as she kneels down onto the centre court grass, because Simona Halep is the Wimbledon champion. 6-2, 6-2. She has beaten Serena Williams. Kim Clijsters, Annabel Croft, a simply stunning display of tennis from Simona Halep. So who's not crying, who can speak?
I was very happy for her when she won in Paris. You know, after so many tries to win her first Grand Slam, but to see this, and it's an incredible moment for any player to win here at Wimbledon, and just to see her emotions and to just watch her team cheering hugging each other, and seeing the tears run down their cheeks is this is why you do it. And it's these moments that will inspire so many young girls and players coming up. And amazing match from Simona, and she deserves this win. She was the better player from start to finish, so very, very well deserved from Simona.
Annabelle, how are you doing at the end?
I always get a bit emotional when I see people take such an incredible performance like that, and then seeing how emotional she is. It's just so lovely to see that massive smile on her face. And honestly, I'm just it's taken my breath away how she's played this match out here. I don't think anybody saw this coming, because you look at the head-to-head record. She'd only beaten Serena once, and that was in a group stage of that end-of-season championships. And to come out here and execute the game plan the way that she did, and just to take advantage of a very nervous Serena Williams, but just the way she struck the ball, how she defended when she was under attack, and the serving was to perfection, actually. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful game to watch today, and I feel very sad for Serena Williams that it really wasn't her day today, because you can't imagine what she's going through right now, and how close she's come so many times, and it just seems to get that little bit further away each time she comes out to try and equal this record.
Well, for the 7th year in a row, it's a straight sets Wimbledon final victory for, on this occasion, Simona Halep. And remember, she lost her first 3 Grand Slam finals, 2 at Roland Garros, 1 at the Australian Open. And at that time, I think everyone in tennis wondered about Simona Halep. Sue Barker has the microphone. Russell is going to guide you through it. But Halep is now a 2-time Grand Slam champion and a Wimbledon champion. And that's going to feel good, Russell.
this club.
That is going to be the
Rawlinson,
most special feeling in the world for Simona Halep right now. What an astonishing performance over 56 minutes. 6-2, 6-2. Yes, not a long match, but no one inside centre court today is going to forget the way Simona Halep played. A simply magnificent performance as the presentation party make their way onto centre court. We have the Duke of Kent, who's the president of the All England Club, Philip Brook, the chairman, and David Rawlinson, deputy president of the LTA.
First, please show your appreciation for the chair umpire, Mariana Veljovic.
First ladies final for Mariana Veljovic, and didn't have as stressful a time as Carlos Ramos did at the US Open last year.
No, she did a good job out there today.
Now, to the runner-up, Serena Williams.
Soundly beaten on the day after getting better and better throughout the championships. But ultimately, like against Angelique Kerber in the final last year, she was not able to live with her opponent, and she accepts the runners-up trophy for the 4th time here at Wimbledon in her career. She remains in a tie with Steffi Graf on 7 Wimbledon titles. Martina Navratilova with 9, and Helen Wills-Moody with 8 titles in the interwar years, and a smile for Serena Williams, who in recent years has often been a very, very gracious loser when the match is done. I remember her here against Kerber last year.
And the ladies singles champion for 2019, Simona Halep.
The woman who takes the spoils for 2019 and the first Romanian man or woman not only to reach a Wimbledon singles final, but to win the title at the age of 27. Remarkable story. The clay courter who grew up in Constanta, a Black Sea resort in Romania, won the French Open as many people thought she always would. And 13 months later, she has the Venus Rosewater dish in her arms and lifting it towards the sky. The trophy that's been awarded to the ladies champion every year since 1886 is now in the clutches of Simona Halep, Wimbledon champion, as Serena Williams walks towards Sue Barker.
Serena, I'm not sure what you could have done today against Simona. What a performance.
Yeah, she literally played out of her mind. Congratulations, Simona. It was a little bit of deer in headlights for me. So, I mean, whenever a player plays that amazing, you just kind of have to take your hat off and give them a nod on the head. So congrats on all the hard work.
And also, Serena, congratulations on everything you've done. It hasn't been an easy year, but to come here and get through to the final, having played hardly any matches, is truly spectacular.
Yeah, thank you. Just gotta keep fighting and just keep trying and, enjoying the sport. I love coming out here, playing in front of you guys. It's literally a joy. So, yeah, it's been really fun.
And would you like to say a few words to Patrick and your team?
My team is amazing. Thank you guys for all the support, and I love you all.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you. Serena Williams.
A pirouette, 360-degree pirouette from Serena Williams as she makes her way back to stand alongside the presentation party. Here comes the champion.
Have you ever played a better match than that?
Never. It was the best match, and of course Serena always inspired us, so thank you for that. I have worked a lot for this moment. It's an honor to play in front of the royal box. Thank you. I have no words to explain, but I feel great.
You showed no sign of nerves, though. No sign of nerves coming out here.
Well, I had nerves. My stomach was not very well before the match, but I knew that there is no time for emotions. I just came on court and I gave my best.
How does it feel to be holding that famous trophy?
Unbelievable. And it's something very special, and I will never forget this day because it was my mom's dream. When I was about 10, 12, she said that if I want to do something in tennis, I have to play the final of Wimbledon. So the day came. So my mom, thanks to my parents, actually.
okay, Mum, didn't she? She did okay. Because it is so special. I know you've grown up, you know, you've won the French Open, but coming here with all the history of it, it's so much more, isn't it?
At the beginning of the tournament, I told to the people from the locker room that if I will win this tournament, it's going to be amazing because I will get a membership for life. So here I am. It was one of my motivation before this tournament, so now I'm happy.
And you didn't even love grass courts until this year. What changed?
Actually, I have worked a lot to change a little bit my game, to be able to win matches on grass. It was never easy because I like to run a lot, so here you cannot really slide and you cannot really run that much, but I started to feel this year the game, the ball. When it comes to me, I knew what to do with it, so it was an amazing year, amazing tournament, and I can't wait to come back here, actually.
And would you like to say a little word as well? Because we've seen your mum, but your dad's up there, your brother's up there, your team is up there.
Yeah, of course, to my parents, to my family, thank you very much for all the support. Without you, I couldn't been here because they supported me since actually I was born. Thank you for that. My team, of course, you are working every day with me. Theo, Marianne, Daniel, Virginia, thank you. Darren, of course, a very special person. He came to support me, and I have no words to thank you. And because of you, I have learned how to be a better person on court. Thank you very much. And of course, I would like to thank to my country because I have a lot of support every time I play. And Mr. Tsiriak, he came especially for my final, so thank you for supporting me all the time and being hard to me. It's been great. Thank you very much.
You mentioned in your press conference you were hoping that the Duchess of Cambridge would be here today. She's there along with the Duchess of Sussex as well. And you talked about the membership, but you will also get to see your name up on the honours board, and then you'll go to the royal box and you'll probably meet them.
That's amazing. I didn't know that, so it's even more special now. Thank you for coming, everyone from the royal family, and it's been an honor to play here and to win my second Grand Slam here.
It's been an honor to watch you play. What a match, what a performance, ladies and gentlemen. Simona Halep!
Just brilliant. Wonderful, wonderful speech. Simply exceptional performance on centre court to sweep past Serena Williams, chasing a 24th Grand Slam singles title, 6-2, 6-2 in just 56 minutes. In some ways, one or two parallels with the performance that Petra Kvitova put in against Eugenie Bouchard 5 years ago. The big difference today, though, Jonathan, is that Bouchard was a teenager enjoying the year of her life. This performance came against, quite arguably, the greatest tennis player of all time.
And Serena Williams very gracious in defeat. Just again a few words from Serena to Simona as she left her to it with the photographs now, the traditional photographs of Serena back at her chair with the runners-up plate for the second year in a row, remember. 2 years in succession, she has left empty-handed from the Wimbledon singles final. Will she be back? The question we ask every single year, but we salute the new champion. And what a lovely interview and speech, Annabel Croft, that was, because for many people watching and casual tennis observers who come in, at this time of year, yes, she's won the French Open, but she might be new to them, and will have really warmed to her.
Oh, there's no question about that. That was very, very charming, wasn't it? And she had such a lovely smile which lights up her face, and I think sometimes, those of us who've followed her on her tennis pathway, there's been many, many stressful moments, and when
hasn't always been there, has it?
No, and it's you know, she's been very hard on herself, and I thought the most touching moment was when she thanked Darren Cahill for making her a better person, and he was the one who, as everyone knows, you know, he walked away from coaching her and said, you know, call me when you're ready to change your attitude, because I can't coach you while you're being so negative and so down on yourself and so miserable on the court. And she had to really change her ways, and of course, you know, she came back and won the French. And you know, I know that they're not working together at the moment because he took a sabbatical, but he is here at Wimbledon, and he's probably no doubt helped her tactically today. And of course, she definitely thanked him today, because I think he probably had a massive impact on why she's standing there holding the trophy today.
She said, thanks for making me a better person on the court. And Kim Clijs says it's an interesting thing to think back to, isn't it? A coach walking away from a player because of their attitude. Do you think sometimes more coaches need to do that?
Yes, I think so, but I don't think there's a lot of coaches out there like Darren Cahill. He's an incredible human being, and he's a very, very smart coach as well. And I think, you know, being able to do what he did and telling her, you know, that she needs to get her act together, because he saw the potential that she has in her tennis, but that she was at times, that her mental side of her game was letting her not play her best tennis, and you know, she's definitely raised that level, and at the same time, you know, the way that she was able to raise her level mentally, she has been able to raise her tennis as well, and we saw some of the best tennis out here from her today.
Oh, absolutely. As Serena Williams said, she played out of her mind. And Sue said, have you ever played a better match than that? And hardly surprisingly, Simona Halep replied and said, nope. And it was some performance. From the very word go, she was on it. And she had that level throughout. You see dips, don't you? You see peaks and troughs during matches. But not so today. 6-2, 6-2 in 56 minutes. It's very close, Russell Fuller, to a thrashing. Serena was in it at times, but not on many occasions. Halep had complete control, you sensed.
You did. I was watching with great interest the start of the second set as both players, wreathed in smiles with their respective trophies, leave centre court now, walking between the ball boys and ball girls who'd formed a guard of honour at the entrance to centre court. They'll both be back, we hope, next year. But yes, as I was saying, the start of the second set, because after Halep made that blistering start when Williams was clearly nervous, after that it had been on serve for the second half of the first set, and it was the case for the beginning of the second set, so you could still make an argument that both results were possible. And then you could just see that Halep was that bit better, that lot better, and when she got the break, I think the result was a foregone conclusion. It was a breathtaking performance. I don't think anybody is going to be leaving here today thinking I've been shortchanged only 56 minutes on centre court, because they have seen one of the great Wimbledon final performances of all time.
How much better do you think she can get, Kim?
Look, I don't think she can play much better than what she did today. I think she played the perfect match today, and what an occasion to be able to do it. I think she you know, we talked about it during the match, how well she anticipated Serena's serve and her ground shots, but the variety that she put in her game as well. You know, in her serve, she made Serena kind of guess at times more than Serena made her guess, and so that's something that she did incredibly well, and she mentally broke Serena down at the end, where Serena, you know, when she went 4-2 down in that second set, we could see her body language change, and it's almost like the belief that she still had early on in that second set, that was almost played out of her.
But she is, Annabelle, still only 27, which in the modern game still gives you plenty of years, doesn't it? Plenty of years for improvement.
Yeah, I mean, you know, wins like this can inspire you to even train even harder and even want more and more. And I think she's got that kind of feisty character that will want probably to taste this more times than she has done. And as she said herself, just there, it was a rather sweet moment when she said, I can't wait to come back here already. And she hasn't even left the court from having won at these championships. But, you know, I think she can add perhaps even more variety into her game, because she is a very rhythmical ball striker. You know, she has such beautiful timing and sort of changes the direction of the ball stunningly, and that's what she did very well today. But she knows herself, she talked about it at Eastbourne, that she wants to introduce more slice backhands and more maybe change-ups of pace. One thing I thought she did do well was use that body serve the way Kerber had done so in the previous year to win here. And we saw it a couple of times today, didn't we, Kim, where she used that body serve to tuck Serena up and then strike with authority into the corners to get Serena on the move. And that was quite a crucial tactic, really, because as we saw when Serena started to ramp up early on in that second set, you know, it's quite difficult to stop her with all that power. But my goodness, she absorbed so much power today.
And she likes an opponent that hits the ball fast and hard, because she likes to take over the pace from her opponent. So yeah, I think we've seen her struggle at times where she plays a player who doesn't hit the ball as hard, where she has to start dictating the points. But today, the way that she dealt with, you know, the ground shots from Serena, and how well she moved, and how well she was, you know, in position every time she hit the ball was incredible. And yeah, like she said, she has never played a better match than what we've seen today.
And Kim, quite possibly frightening for others, the fact that she's mastered the grass, a surface that she didn't like, and she talked about the work that's gone into it to adapt her game. We know how much she loves the clay. It was the dream to win the French Open, which she's got. But I think it's interesting the work she's done mentally, because how many times did we say, this is a test, and can she keep it together? And something she said in Paris was, I'm really relaxed, I'm really happy. And she was asked, are you too happy to win? And she said, no, it's just a different approach. And I think she's had to work really hard on the mental side of the game to get herself into a position when she can pull out a performance like that.
For sure, because we've seen a lot of players in the past who have won their first Grand Slam and have gone on to not win anything else. And the situation or your life does change when you win your first Grand Slam, and it's very important that you stay, of course, very grounded, and you stay focused on what you have to do. She's always been very open about saying that when she won the French Open last year, that she took a break and that she enjoyed the festivities, and she went on vacation with her whole team, with Darren, to kind of end, you know, the working relationship, and they enjoyed that life, you know, the celebrations a little bit, and which is important, which I think has helped her in a way to kind of deal with that momentum that she was going on, and the positive emotions that she was dealing with at the time, to kind of, okay, we celebrated it, and now I can focus on the next thing. And it's it's amazing to see that after her first Grand Slam, since winning the first Grand Slam final, since winning the French Open, that she's capable of lifting her level to a completely different level that we've seen from her ever.
And Russell, I think it's worth reminding people, they might just be tuning in and thinking, what on earth's going on? This final should still be going on. And as you say, there'll be people thinking, well, I only took, 56 minutes? That's ridiculous. But the performance, the level of performance we saw from Simona Halep was simply stunning.
Yep, that's what everybody will be talking about now as they have a little breather before the men's doubles final, and also be reflecting on watching Serena Williams here, and everybody will be asking the same question. That's 3 Grand Slam final defeats in a row. That takes its toll. We know historically the pressure at the US Open is at its most intense on Serena Williams, but I'm sure she will be there or thereabouts again, particularly if she now is able to play in Canada in 3 or 4 weeks' time, and then in Cincinnati just before the US Open with matches under her belt. She will be a major threat. But once again, and could anybody in the world or in history have lived with Simona Halep today? But once again, when she's faced one of the very top players in a final, as we saw with Angelique Kerber and Naomi Osaka last year, she has come up short. And the rest of the world know nowadays that they can beat her. I think that's the difference. That aura has been just not shattered by any means, but the top players in the world now, most of them will back themselves to beat Serena Williams if they're playing at their best.
4 different champions in the last 4 years of the women's singles here at Wimbledon. Serena Williams 2016, Garbine Muguruza the year after that, Angelique Kerber last year, and now for Romania, Simona Halep, and her name is already up on the honours board in the clubhouse. She's just being shown that actually right now by the chairman, Philip Brook, in his final year before handing over the chairmanship of the All England Club. And also, you know,